Happy Monday to you.
Buenos dias.
Is it a good morning?
Oh, I'm happy.
I've hardly slept at all last night, so it's just a weird day. Heading to the doctor's again, so that's interesting. And but that's not until noon. But we've had lots to do today. Christmas is a crazy time of year.
It is.
It's almost like there's stuff to do. There's food to get.
Things to look at.
Things to buy.
Christmas
is a very strange time.
And expensive.
Yes, it is expensive. But you know what? It's worth it. Because outside, it just feels electric. Because the electric cable's fallen. But other than that, I mean, it's good. It didn't. I was just kidding. Because in Mexico, it can happen. Yeah. Over by our old house, like when we lived by the water, when it would rain, there was this puddle that you would step in, and it would always feel like electricity. Turns out there was a short in a cable or something, and it was electricity. But it was going through enough earth that it didn't kill you, but you could definitely feel there was something in the water.
A little bit of a buzz.
So if you are walking out and you feel electricity in the water, get out of the water. Because you may die.
Get out of the water. So, good morning, Keith. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Sherry. How are you all this morning? La Fuente did their Christmas pageant this weekend. It was so cute. They did a version of the Grinch. It was just awesome. They did such a good job.
And it was 18 minutes.
It was very short and sweet.
Which was perfect. I mean, that is the perfect amount of time to do a play. 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Done.
So
and the kids were really good. I think it was great.
No, it was very well done. Jexa, who is a young lady that works at the church, she kind of oversaw it, and she's just the whole package, you guys. Jexa is just a sweetheart. She's beautiful, she's wonderful, she's talented, she's an amazing cook. She does the best tamales I have ever had. I'm sorry to all you ladies. Well, I haven't had a lot of tamales from actual people that I know, but Jexa's have been the best.
One of the things that was funny was they recorded the words in English, and then the kids would move their mouths. Well, most of these kids don't speak English, so they're like,
which was adorable also.
It kind of was. Yeah. It was like a puppet, and you just and the words were wrong. So I was like, are they speaking Japanese? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyways, so John has an appointment at noon. So we're going to head into town after this and go get a couple errands done.
Woot.
That need to be done only in Vallarta. And I have an itchy eye.
I've got itchy eyes. Like the last few weeks, they've just been so crazy itchy.
It's all the smoke and stuff that's been in the air.
Why do people burn their garbage? We have delivery or garbage pickup 3 times a week. Why burn anything? I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
Either do I. So yeah, it is kind of weird, but it's something we have to live with, I guess. So I had some people call me because they wanted to look at a house in Nueva Vallarta. So we go online and it says the house is in Nueva Vallarta, but the pictures are from La Ciela, which is about 40 minutes away, which is a weird, like, why put it in Nueva Vallarta if you've got to drive an hour away from the airport to get to the place?
Yeah, because it's not quite in La Ciela. Let's put it that way.
And it's not on the real MLS, so I can't even say that it's in the wrong place. So it was lots of fun to see, because they're like, we want to see it tomorrow. I'm like, well, let's do it on Tuesday. And when I look at the place, I'm like, yeah, that's not where they think it is. But they didn't know. They didn't know by the pictures.
No.
The pictures were obviously La Ciela.
And if you knew La Ciela, would you know? So hi, Kathy. How are you this morning?
So I think today we should make some baking. I've got that KitchenAid mixer.
Sweetheart, we have a party at Lynn's today, remember?
I don't.
Well, you come after 5, so you can bake all afternoon or nap.
I'm probably going to have a nap.
Yeah. So this afternoon.
That was good. You knew what I would want to do.
A few of us ladies are getting together at my friend's house, and we are going to be crafty and paint, which not so good at it. Oh, you know what? We did discover yesterday.
What?
I went to go find my glue gun,
Oh, that was weird.
which I know that Matt very kindly put it in a toolbox for me. Well, that toolbox was removed from our premises. One toolbox out of everything else that is in that bodega, the lightest of the 3 toolboxes that were side by side. So we know when it happened. It's the only time it could have happened. But
Somebody would have come in off the street.
Someone would have come in off the street when our side gate was open. We had a party, and unfortunately, someone decided that they would take that opportunity to come and steal out of our bodega.
The worst part is I've got a security system that's ready to be hooked up.
Yeah, and it's sitting in our room in the box.
It's 4K videos. 6
hello,
cameras.
Helen, and hello, Greg. Nice to see you guys. Kathy, I see you saying good morning. Yeah, things are weird. Nothing is showing up on our public chat, but it's all showing up. So I have to keep going back and forth through my phone.
We do have to premise this with generally crime is very opportunistic. It's not anything that's regular here, especially in our neighborhood, because these are all real people that live here all the time. The thing was, I think when we had the party going on, somebody just kind of slipped in and slipped out, and we had the doors locked, so the dog wasn't outside to go barking.
Right.
So it was really our bad, because we should have locked the door.
Well, I've never actually even considered that someone would be that ballsy when there's a whole bunch of people milling around. But apparently they were watching and were. So that said, next time we have a party, I will make sure that the bodega is locked. I mean, there
was all kinds of things they could have taken.
And expensive things. This had just Matt had told us that he said it's just kind of like little miscellaneous things, pieces that he wasn't sure where they belonged. A brand new glue gun and glue sticks, which I mean, down here they're very inexpensive.
They are.
Art Barubi says no video cameras. LOL. No, Art, we have them. John just hasn't hooked them up. And Randy, good morning. Sandra, good morning. Yeah, it's one of those things, and if that's the worst that happens to us, we are okay with it.
They do steal our papayas every once in a while. Now they are growing on public land. We use that easement for the sidewalk to grow fruit trees and banana trees, which I guess bananas kind of a fruit.
And for any of you guys that know that my dog had puppies years ago, this specifically for Clem and Sandra, if they are on this morning, I can't tell because I have to keep jumping back and forth. But 4 years ago, the puppies were babies, so they were born. Well, we figured the 15th, right? They were born.
I can't remember. I showed up as a memory on
Facebook. So 4 years old are those little babies, Bailey's puppies.
And Bailey is 8 or 9 years.
Bailey turns 8 this year.
I don't know if that's possible because that hurricane had to be longer than that.
Bailey had nothing to do with the hurricane. Bailey,
she was part of the.
Bailey was born just before we moved into the house on Hirasol.
I went crazy for a second.
Yeah. Well, not for a second. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's very funny, with whatever is going on in my brain, some stuff is in there. Like I remember Christmas songs from when I was a kid, but then there's other things that I can't remember. Anything business related, though, fantastic, is working. So that's good. I've got my business brain in there still. Just some of me is, gone in a way.
In a way.
In a way.
I would say it's more than in a way, but whatever. Yeah,
I made the mistake of asking Christie, really, what's different about me? And she's like, you don't want to know.
Well, he's definitely meaner.
Ouch. That's not true. I think I'm softer. I mean, I am softer, but there's a cat in our room.
Well, it's just, right by the.
What the hell's a cat doing in here?
It's not in here. It is.
I'm just going to fix Christie.
Yeah, it's very. Well, I kind of liked it, though.
Yeah, I know. It's like a filter on you. It's like the 1970s warm filter.
Yeah. Well, because now you can see my wrinkles.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have left it.
You should have left it. No, just leave it. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to make this.
She just is always on her phone, guys. It is a thing. And I'm playing with this right now, which is a paperclip because it was here. I don't know who left me something to play with in front of me because that's just dumb.
That's a business tool.
I saw a bunch of KitchenAid recipes. If you have any good KitchenAid recipes, just send them on over.
Yes. Greg Bird says, good morning. Hello, buenos dias. Helen says, hello, and theft is the same everywhere. And Debbie is asking me, oh, there you go. This is a Mexico life question. Thank you very much. Once you are a permanent resident, does it change the obligation to pay the yearly charge to the bank that holds your deed? No. If you are a permanent resident, no, you have to be a Mexican citizen.
What a permanent does get you, though, is a capital gains exemption up to a certain amount when you sell a house. Every 5 years, you're allowed 1 or 3 years now. You can't drive a foreign-plated vehicle anymore as a permanent resident. You will be ticketed if you.
Well, they can confiscate your car. Yeah, because it is illegal. So I don't know of anybody that it's happened to, but apparently it's illegal.
And apparently you still can't vote. Even with a permanent residence, you still can't vote.
You have to be a citizen. I mean, and I get it. So Debbie, in answer to your question, 100%.
If we were in Canada, though, with our legal status, we would be able to vote.
100. It doesn't matter. We're here in Mexico, and I'd prefer it. I don't care. I don't want to be in the States. I don't want to be in Canada. I want to be right here.
That's true.
And so just to make that very clear, only a Mexican citizen does not have to pay their trust fees. So you still have to pay, even if you're permanent resident, because we're permanent resident and we have to pay all of them.
2 soon, I think just 2.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to have that lot rolled into our trust.
So there's your answer to questions, hun. Let me know.
Yeah, it is. What do you get for that $500 whatever dollars? Nothing. But
peace of mind.
Now,
absolutely.
There are wealthy Mexicans that do it this way because then it just immediately goes to their children without the estate, probate, all the other crap that goes along with it. So there is a reason for it. It just, for most foreigners, I don't know. The weirdest thing I see is foreigners that are married to a Mexican and they're like, yeah, we're just going to put it in their name. And I'm like, you do know that if you separate, it all belongs to them. Oh, yeah. I know. I will just sue them and we will blah, blah, blah. No. You absolutely get nothing of that. I think our marriage is fine. We have seen it so many times where.
You think our marriage is fine?
They think their marriage is fine. That was just a subconscious
You
thing.
said I think our marriage is fine. You guys all heard him say that, right? He thinks our marriage is fine.
I was speaking for them. Ours is not fine. What is she talking about?
Oh, so anybody have some sugar daddies out there for me?
Yes. Those sugar daddies here in Mexico. The women in Mexico, they'll walk down the street with a short shirt and their belly hanging out like a real muffin top. And guys are like, oh, I want her so bad. So weird. So here, and the guys too, a little chubby, and the girls like that. So I think that it's a very good country if you're overweight and a woman or a man, which is why I think there's so much overweightness here.
Maybe.
I think drinking soda for breakfast is a big thing.
I would think that would do it for sure.
I've probably had more sugar drinks in the last few weeks than I've probably had in years. Maybe, yeah, it's like I think when I went to Canada maybe 7 years ago, I had more, but I did gain 30 pounds in 3 months. So that was kind of
I'm not sure why you need to talk about that all the time.
It was a weird time. I mean, it is so crazy how just drinking soda.
But you were really unhealthy that trip, like super unhealthy that trip.
Maybe.
No, maybe about it. We thought you were
I think our
dying.
marriage is fine. I think it is. I'm not sure. I think it is.
So, and then Greg is asking, in addition to selling real estate in the Bucerias area, do you also deal with rentals? No.
We have clients that have bought a house that if people say something, we will send the emails off to those people.
We know people to refer you to. So we can, that horse is not in a good mood today.
It's just that with rentals, it's so much work for so little money. So people who do rentals, they do a ton of business, but they don't make much money.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it's just kind of like, you know what? Let's just sell.
Mm-hmm.
And we may get
Hi,
into
Jen.
property
Auntie
management.
Jeanette. Yeah, I mean, we actually are looking for someone that will come and do it full time, but until we have someone that's going to do it full time, we're not touching it. Sorry.
Because
We
I
do
don't-
have people that we can refer you to though, Greg. So
I don't want to deliver.
Mas tequila. There you
I
go.
don't want to deliver toilet paper at 3:00 in the morning because they didn't go to buy stuff for themselves at Mega.
I don't think it's quite that bad anymore. People are getting a little more
it's
reasonable.
terrible. Yes, it is. So what else can we talk about here, honey?
Well, I think today we kind of need to keep it short because we do have a lot to do.
Mhm.
I'm just going to check and see if there's anybody else commenting on.
If you have any other questions, ask them now.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, we can't answer them.
Art is asking, how long is a trust valid in Mexico?
A trust is 50
Now,
years.
our trust is different than what you are looking at in Canada, though. You're saying your trust lasts for 21 years?
Why don't you let me explain it? Foreigners in Mexico cannot legally own property in the restricted zone.
I'll just have a coffee.
The restricted zone is 30 miles, 50 kilometers from the coast, 100 miles from the borders, north and south, and the entire Baja Peninsula. So the Mexicans are kind of like, well, how do we get foreigners to buy here? So they figured out they would sell trusts. And the trust can be owned by a corporation or a bank. If it's a corporation, it has to be for development. A person cannot physically reside in the property if it's held in trust. So if they're going to develop land, that's a perfect use for it.
They could technically do it if it's a rental property
but they
only.
cannot ever be in it.
They can't
So-
live in it, and they will never get capital gains exemption, no matter what their status is. So that's something to consider.
So the trust
And
is
it's
a-
expensive because you have to put it in a Mexican
corporation, you have to
corporation,
reply.
and then you have to do taxes
Every
And
month.
Every month, so you have to pay an
Every
accountant
month.
to do that for you, unless you are very fluent in Spanish.
And for us, our taxes, we have a corporation as well, but our taxes are about 3,500 to 3,800 a month pesos in that area.
Our accounting,
Our accounting.
our taxes are not that.
Yeah, our taxes are way more than that. So what happens is they establish the trust. The object of the trust is the property. Then you assign the primary beneficiaries. Those would be the owners. And then you also apply the substitute beneficiaries, which would be the heirs. Now, the beauty of a trust is that when primary beneficiaries pass away, ownership immediately goes to the substitute beneficiaries. There's a cost involved. It's between $2,000 and $4,000. But you pay about $500, $550 a year for that trust. And it's 50 years and it is renewable in perpetuity. So it can go, as it stands right now, forever. But there's talks, all governments are wanting to get rid of the trust system. And whenever the governments are all on side for something, understand it's going to cost money. And I think that that's the reason why, because once they do that, then we will have probate, all of that other garbage and estate taxes.
Believe it or not, the government doesn't always have your best interests at heart.
It never, ever does.
That's not true.
Oh,
But
it never
most-
does. It never does.
Good morning, Manny. How are you?
The government has their interests at heart. So wealthy Mexicans also will do trusts as part of their estate planning because ownership goes immediately to the heirs. I'll have a Mexican call me up and they say, hey, John, my dad just died and we want to sell, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, call me in 2 to 5 years, man, after all the legal mumbo jumbo is done. And then I will sell it. But if they've got a trust, mom and dad, whoever could have just died today, and we can already put it on the MLS with the heirs. And we can sort out that $2,000 to $4,000 I was talking about at the closing instead of right there. It doesn't have to go through that process. It can be part of the closing process as well.
And Wendy is saying that her trust is $464 US per year for their trust. And so really, when you think about it, property taxes, you're probably looking at maybe, depending on what you own, maybe $200 a year. And then you're going to pay, that's all US dollars for any of you that may be Canadian or Mexican. And then you're looking at, I mean, our trust fees are $550. So I don't know why ours are so much. Wendy, how is that possible that I have more expensive and I'm the realtor? But this has nothing to do with being a realtor. It has everything to do with the bank that you go with. So we chose a bank that we know will be easy to
Yes.
deal with when we sell.
$350 to $550 a year. Is
I don't think any are that low anymore, babe.
Okay.
I think 464 is probably some of the lowest. But anyways.
And what do you get for that service? Nothing.
Peace of mind.
No. If you go to sell, you figure you would be the bank's fiduciary responsibility.
Oh,
you're in
not.
a client
You're
position. They don't care. They do not care.
No.
There's two banks here where it can take 3 to 6 months to close just because of them.
Mm-hmm. So property ownership is like the ongoing expenses for the taxes and trust stuff is very inexpensive. You do pay a bit of a chunk when you buy, depending on the property that you're buying. You're probably going anywhere from, I would say the lowest we've seen is probably about 3% to as high as 10 or 12, depending on, I mean,
I think we paid 15% or 60% on our land, on our lot.
That lot, we haven't done that yet on it, remember?
Oh,
it was the little house.
The little house, that's right. It was so small.
The smaller the amount of money that you pay for your property, the bigger your closing costs are, because some are fixed and those don't change no matter how much it costs, and some are percentages. So I think on the little house, we paid 600,000 pesos for that little house, and I think we paid $8,800, something like that. Like, so it was substantially bigger percentage, but it is the way it is. But now our ongoing costs, I think our property taxes on that are 1,000 pesos a month or a year, and the trust fee is the 550. So
$600 a year to own that.
Not even.
Yeah. That includes property taxes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have it as a rental situation, which I've never seen any rent because it's our kid and our grandkids that live in the house. But yeah, oh well.
They pay in hugs.
Yeah. Hug me. Oh, she's going to hurt me. See how much afraid I am of her? You guys saw that.
That is the way.
Any other questions about Mexico? And I hope that was not too.
Oh, yep. I'm on a roll. What are the advantages of having a Mexican senior card? I know some pharmacies give discounts.
Yes, apparently
there are.
The buses.
I think now, Debbie, we're not of that age yet, so I don't quite know. But there are discounts. The buses give discounts. I think sometimes movie theaters give discounts. I think you might even get a discount on your property taxes. I think they used to, and water, but I'm not sure anymore. But I will find those out, actually, because those are good questions.
That is a fantastic question.
So, you know what? We don't have our Mexico question notebook yet.
Maybe we should use that as one of our coaches, the books he gave us.
Yes.
That would be good. That's our video booklet from now on. So good question. We're going to find out. Any other questions about Mexico?
Not yet. That is it.
Well, we're done for today. We do need to go. So have a fantastic Monday.
Just let me check yours again real quick. It's the only two I've been checking. I haven't checked any of the others.
If you have a job or something to go to, I'm sorry. If it's snowing where you are, apologies. We've got beaches.
We're not sorry. I mean, why are we sorry? We didn't do it.
That's true. But I'm Canadian. We apologize for everything.
We feel for you, maybe. We could say that.
We do feel for you. So there you go. Have a fantastic Monday.
Thank you guys for joining us this morning. And